What makes a man risk everything? Fortune, family, even his sanity, just to chase the impossible. Some say he's a genius. Others say he's reckless, dangerous, even insane. But one thing is certain. The world cannot ignore Elon Musk. He's the man who sleeps on factory floors while building cars that redefine an industry. The man who launches rockets that once exploded in flames, only to rise from the ashes and land upright on floating drone ships in the middle of the ocean. The man who dares to whisper a dream so outrageous, so unbelievable, that most people laugh. Humans living on Mars. But before the billions, before Tesla and SpaceX, before the headlines that made him both admired and despised, there was a boy beaten until unconscious by bullies. A boy who escaped into books because reality was too cruel. A boy who dreamed of galaxies while trapped in a childhood that tried to break him. This isn't just the story of a billionaire, it's the story of obsession, of failure stacked upon failure, of a man who refused to quit even when the world called him delusional. Because Elon Musk's journey is not polished. It's messy, violent, inspiring, terrifying, and real. So buckle up. This is not a documentary about success. This is a cinematic journey through fire, steel, and madness. The story of how one restless soul tried and then still tries to drag the future into existence. And it all begins with a boy staring at the stars, wondering if Earth was truly enough. Elon Reeve Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa. At first glance, his world seemed comfortable. A middle-class family, a bright boy. But behind the walls, shadows loomed. His father, Elon Musk, was an engineer. Intelligent, sharp, but often volatile. His mother, Mae Musk, was a Canadian model and dietitian, full of resilience and charm. From her, Elon inherited an unstoppable will. From his father, he inherited both brilliance and scars. At school, Elon was the quiet one, too quiet. Other kids didn't understand him. He wasn't good at sports, wasn't interested in gossip or games. Instead, he was lost in books. And when kids sense difference, they attack it. He was bullied relentlessly. Once, a group of boys shoved him down a flight of stairs and beat him unconscious. He spent days in the hospital. Imagine this, a young boy, his face swollen, body aching, asking himself, why am I different? Why do they hate me? Yet while other children played, Elon devoured knowledge. He read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica by age 9. Science fiction, philosophy, fantasy, engineering manuals, man, it didn't matter. If it was on paper, he absorbed it. Books became his armor. Knowledge became his weapon. There was one book that changed everything. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Inside its pages, Elon found not just humor and adventure, but a burning question. What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? He didn't laugh it off, he took it seriously. If the universe held meaning, maybe he could find it. Maybe he could build it. At just 12 years old, Elon did something extraordinary. He created his own video game, Blaster. Simple, pixelated, but functional. He sold it to a magazine for $500. It wasn't just about money, it was proof. Proof that he could turn imagination into reality. But even as his mind soared, his life at home was collapsing. Elon's relationship with his father was complicated and painful. Elon Musk was brilliant, yes, but deeply troubled. Elon would later describe his childhood under Errol's roof as miserable. There were arguments, manipulation, emotional wounds that cut deeper than the fists of bullies. To escape, Elon turned inward. He dreamed of worlds beyond Earth. He thought about colonizing Mars, building machines that could outlast humanity's flaws. It wasn't just fantasy. It was survival. But South Africa in the 1980s was a storm of its own. The system of apartheid was brutal and violent. Military service was mandatory. And Elon knew if he stayed, he'd be forced to join a system he couldn't morally support. So at 17, with nothing but determination and a burning vision, he made the boldest decision of his young life. He would leave South Africa forever. He told almost no one. But in 1989, Elon packed his bags and boarded a plane to Canada. Why Canada? Because his mother held citizenship there. It was a loophole, a lifeline, and a way to eventually reach the United States, the land of opportunity, the place where his dreams could breathe. But the escape wasn't glamorous. In Canada, Elon worked odd jobs, cleaning boilers in a lumber mill, shoveling dirt, doing whatever it took to survive. At times, he barely had enough to eat. The dreamer, once lost in galaxies, was now scrubbing soot from industrial floors just to pay rent. Was this what chasing freedom looked like? Still, Elon never let go of his vision. Nights were spent reading physics, programming, and plotting his next move. Because deep down, he knew this is temporary. The real journey hadn't even begun. Elon enrolled at Queen's University in Ontario. Here, something shifted. For the first time, he wasn't just the quiet outsider. He started opening up, meeting people, debating ideas. It was at Queen's that he met Justine Wilson, who would later become his first wife. But even as he studied, he looked further ahead. His mind was restless. After 2 years, he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania. Double major, physics and economics. Because to Elon, the universe was built on two foundations: how things worked and how to fund them. At Penn, he shared a rented house with friends and turned it into a nightclub on weekends to pay the bills. Hundreds of students crammed in, dancing, drinking, unaware that the tall, quiet guy in the corner would one day redefine entire industries. Elon graduated, but he wasn't satisfied. He had bigger questions, bigger dreams. So he headed west to Stanford University, a PhD program in applied physics, the perfect launchpad. But something unexpected happened. It was 1995. The internet was exploding. A new world was being built. Not in space, but in cyberspace. Elon arrived at Stanford and lasted 2 days. Yes, 2 days. He dropped out. Why? Because he realized the future wasn't in classrooms. The future was being coded right now by entrepreneurs who dared to take risks. So Elon made a choice: leave academia, chase opportunity. No safety net, no guarantees, just raw ambition. Together with his brother, Kimball Musk, he started a company, a startup called Zip2. Their mission: help newspapers create online city guides, maps, directions, business listings. It was risky. They had almost nothing. Elon slept on the office floor. He showered at the YMCA. He worked night after night, chasing a dream only he could see. The boy who was once beaten for being different was now building something that could change the way people lived. But success? That was still far away. Because every great story has its trials. And for Elon Musk, the battles were just beginning. Picture this: a cramped office. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. A young Elon Musk lies curled up on a sleeping bag beside his desk. The carpet smells like stale coffee. His brother Kimball sleeps on the floor nearby. This wasn't college life. This was survival. The Musk brothers had built a company called Zip2, a digital map and business directory for newspapers. The idea sounded simple today, but in the mid-1990s, it was revolutionary. The internet itself was still a mystery to most people. While others doubted, Elon believed. He coded day and night, often skipping meals, surviving on soda and instant noodles. Every knock on the office door could mean either a potential investor or the landlord demanding rent. One by one, newspapers started paying attention. Big names, the New York Times, the Chicago Tribune. Soon, what began as an experiment became a necessity for traditional media trying to survive in a digital world. In 1999, Compaq swooped in and bought Zip2 for $307 million in cash. Elon's cut? Around $22 million. For most 27-year-olds, that's where the story ends. Wealth, comfort, and early retirement. But Elon Musk wasn't most people. Money wasn't the end, it was fuel. He didn't celebrate for long. Instead, he asked, "What's next? What's the bigger problem to solve?" Elon's answer came in the form of X.com, a company designed to reinvent how money moved online. Think about it. In the late 90s, buying something on the internet was clunky, confusing, even unsafe. Elon believed money should move as easily as an email. He put $12 million of his own fortune into the company. All in. But vision invites rivals. Soon, X.com found itself in a fierce battle with another startup called Confinity. Their product? A little payment service called PayPal. The rivalry grew intense. Offices just a few blocks apart, each racing to dominate the future of online payments. Then, a twist. Instead of destroying each other, the two merged. And so PayPal was born. At first, Elon was PayPal's largest shareholder and CEO, but leadership brings storms. Elon pushed hard for growth, expansion, and a controversial plan to switch the company's servers from Unix to Microsoft. Not everyone agreed. Tensions rose. In September 2000, Elon boarded a plane for a long-awaited vacation with his new wife, Justine. While he was in the air, unreachable, unaware, PayPal's board of directors voted to oust him as CEO. Imagine the sting. You build the company, fight for it, risk everything, and they take it away while you're not even on the ground to defend yourself. When Elon landed, his title was gone, his power stripped. But his stake remained. And when eBay acquired PayPal in 2002 for $1.5 billion, Elon walked away with $180 million. He was only 31, and once again, he had a choice. Retire as a rich man or double down on bigger dreams. For Elon Musk, the question was never, how do I stay rich? It was always, how do I make life multiplanetary? How do I push humanity forward? While others invested in safer bets, real estate, stocks, luxury yachts, Elon poured his fortune into two audacious, almost insane ventures. SpaceX, to build reusable rockets and colonize Mars. Tesla Motors, to create electric cars cool enough to dethrone gasoline. Friends thought he was reckless. Industry experts laughed. The headlines were merciless. But Elon didn't care. Because for him, it wasn't about money. It was about survival. The survival of the human race. In 2002, he founded Space Exploration Technologies Corp., or SpaceX. Elon wasn't just a funder, he was hands-on. He devoured rocket textbooks, grilled engineers with endless questions, sometimes to the point of frustration. He wasn't content being the money guy. He wanted to understand deeply. But rockets are unforgiving teachers. The first launch attempt, Falcon 1 in 2006, failure. The second in 2007, failure. The third in 2008, failure. Each rocket exploded, millions of dollars burning in seconds. By the third failure, the company was nearly bankrupt. Investors whispered. Employees panicked. The press mocked. And Elon, He stood on the launch pad debris, eyes fixed on the horizon, and said, "We will try again." Meanwhile, in 2004, Elon had joined a tiny electric car startup, Tesla Motors. At first, he wasn't the founder, but his passion and money made him its driving force. Tesla's first project, the Roadster, promised something the world thought impossible: an electric car that was sexy, fast, and desirable. But the road was brutal. Production delays, battery fires, mounting costs. Critics laughed, calling Tesla a toy company. The big automakers sneered. And then came 2008. It was the year that almost destroyed Elon Musk. The global financial crisis hit. Tesla was bleeding cash. SpaceX had blown up 3 rockets. Elon had poured nearly every cent of his PayPal fortune into these companies. Divorce with Justine tore through his personal life. He barely saw his 5 young children. His health declined. Stress pushed him to the edge. By Christmas, he had just enough money for one more rocket launch. One chance. If it failed, SpaceX would die. Tesla would collapse. Elon Musk, the billionaire who once seemed untouchable, would be broke. Imagine that moment, standing at the cliff's edge, staring down at the abyss. Would the dream finally shatter? On September 28, 2008, SpaceX launched Falcon 1 Flight 4. This time it worked. The rocket soared into orbit. Cheers erupted. Tears streamed down faces. For the first time, a privately funded company had reached space. Days later, NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract to resupply the International Space Station. At the very same time, a lifeline appeared for Tesla. A last-minute round of funding saved the company from collapse, with Elon himself writing the final checks. In the span of weeks, he went from near bankruptcy to sitting on top of 2 companies that had cheated death. The headlines changed, the laughter quieted, but the battle was far from over. The year is 2010. Elon Musk sits in a dim office at SpaceX headquarters. His desk is cluttered with rocket models, car schematics, and empty coffee cups. He is exhausted. Decades of struggle are etched into his face. Yet behind his eyes, something burns, a fire that refuses to die. He knows one thing: he cannot stop now, because the world is finally watching. By the early 2010s, Tesla was no longer a tiny startup. The Model S had stunned critics, an all-electric luxury sedan that was fast, sleek, and, against all odds, practical. But success doesn't mean peace. Scaling production nearly killed the company again. Elon called it production hell. Factories ran non-stop. Deadlines slipped. He slept on the factory floor, refusing comfort until the problems were fixed. At times, employees walked past their billionaire boss sleeping in a sleeping bag beside the assembly line. To them, it was madness. To him, it was leadership. Failure is not an option, he said. Either we figure this out, or Tesla dies. And slowly, painfully, Tesla survived. The Model S became the motor trend car of the year. Customers lined up. Investors, once skeptical, started to believe. But Elon wasn't aiming to build just cars. He wanted to rewrite the entire energy system. Solar panels, batteries, a new ecosystem, a world without oil. And while Tesla battled the road, SpaceX looked up at the stars. In 2012, SpaceX made history. Its Dragon spacecraft docked with the International Space Station. But that was only the beginning. Elon's ultimate dream was reusability. Rockets that didn't burn up after one launch but could land, refuel, and fly again. Experts called it impossible. It's like throwing a pencil over the Empire State Building and trying to catch it on the other side, one engineer joked. But Elon was relentless. After countless fiery crashes in December 2015, A Falcon 9 rocket returned from space and landed upright on Earth. The impossible had happened. In that moment, SpaceX didn't just launch a rocket. They launched humanity one step closer to becoming multiplanetary. With success came something else: scrutiny. The media sharpened its knives. Critics accused him of being reckless, of mistreating workers, of overpromising. His fiery tweets stirred controversy. Stock prices swung with every word he typed at 2 a.m. Was he a genius or a tyrant? A visionary or a madman? The truth, as always, was messy, because Elon Musk was not a polished hero. He was flawed, impatient, obsessive, often brutal in his demands. But beneath it all was a man consumed by purpose, and purpose has a price. As if rockets and cars weren't enough, Elon kept creating. The Boring Company, born almost as a joke, began digging tunnels to revolutionize urban transport. Neuralink, a company to connect human brains with computers, aimed to merge biology with AI. SolarCity, later folded into Tesla, sought to capture the sun itself as energy. Each idea sounded insane. Each was mocked. And yet, piece by piece, Elon turned mockery into progress. By 2020, Tesla wasn't just surviving, it was dominating. Against all odds, the company that critics once called a scam became the most valuable automaker on Earth, surpassing giants like Toyota and Volkswagen. The Model 3 put electric cars into the mainstream. The Cybertruck, love it or hate it, showed Tesla could shock the world at will. Meanwhile, SpaceX launched astronauts into orbit from American soil for the first time since the space shuttle program ended. Elon Musk was no longer the underdog. He was the face of the future. But the question remained, at what cost? For every triumph, there was chaos, lawsuits, public meltdowns, tweets that wiped billions off Tesla's value, brutal work schedules that pushed employees and Elon himself to breaking points. He was called arrogant, dangerous, even unhinged. And maybe he was at times. But the story of Elon Musk isn't the story of perfection. It's the story of obsession, the kind that bends reality itself. Because sometimes the line between madness and genius is only visible in hindsight. So what is Elon Musk's legacy? Is it rockets landing on drone ships, paving the way for Mars? Is it millions of Teslas driving silently on highways, reshaping the auto industry forever? Is it the audacity to take on oil, space, AI, and cities all at once? Or is it something simpler? The reminder that one person, however flawed, can drag the future forward with sheer willpower. Today, Elon Musk remains a lightning rod of controversy and inspiration. Loved, hated, misunderstood, but never ignored. He is not a saint. He is not a villain. He is something rarer. A man who dared to live as if the future depended on him. And maybe it does. Because in the end, when history looks back, it won't see every tweet, every scandal, every stumble. It will see the rockets that rose from ashes. It will see the cars that silenced the roar of oil. It will see the impossible, made real. And maybe, just maybe, it will remember that one restless boy, beaten on a playground in South Africa, who looked up at the stars and decided to take us there.